This standard operating procedure is applicable to the collection of representative surface water samples from streams, rivers, lakes, and ponds using the dip sampler technique. For this sampling procedure, you will take a minimum of 4 samples because no background information was available for the site. The equipment needed for this standard operating procedure include pH meter, custody seal, sample labels, pen, distilled water, cooler, ice pack, safety vest, paper towels, gloves, glass jars with Teflon lid, dip sampler, and chain of custody form.
To collect the sample, insert the end of the dipper into the stream bed, being sure not to disrupt the sediment present at the bottom. When the sample is collected, use the pH meter to check the pH of the sample. After the pH is measured and recorded in the description section of the chain of custody form, carefully pour the sample into the sample jar. After the sample is collected, firmly tighten the lid and place the sample label on the jar. The label should include the sample number, name of collector, date and time of collection, and the place of collection.
Rinse the sampler with distilled water between collections to prevent cross-contamination of samples. Depending on water flow speed, calculate the appropriate time to wait between sample collections. The chain of custody should be filled out and accompany every sample. The chain of custody record should include sample number, signature of collector, date and time of collection, place and address of collection, and signature of persons involved in chain of possessions. Be sure to collect and record the pH of each sample. Labels should be affixed to sample containers at the time of sampling and filled out at the time of sampling.
Two additional samples must be taken in this sampling procedure for QA/QC. You will take a split duplicate sample to document precision. Split samples are used to replicate the measurement of the variables of interest. Before going into the field, fill a sample jar with distilled water for your trip blank. The purpose of the trip blank is to guarantee that the primary samples were not contaminated during transportation. Once all the samples have been taken, place them all in the cooler for preservation and transportation. Once you have stored all the samples in the container, be sure to apply the custody seal to the opening of the container. The purpose of the custody seal is to ensure that the contents of the container are not tampered with during transportation.